I am Iceman. I am Iceman. I am Iceman. I am Iceman.
Good morning, Slop Nation, and welcome to Slop Shop. This is a new podcast hosted by myself, Harvey Mulvihill. It's about the happenings of the internet, and it is your one-stop shop for slop. I woke up this morning and I went to go eat by myself. I went to go get breakfast all by my lonesome. Brought my AirPods. Classic move. Single table, AirPods, watching YouTube in public, eating alone. Just had a hankering, and I did it this morning. You guys ever do that? I was listening, and I can't, it's exciting. I'm a big Drizzy Drake fan, and all these Iceman leaks are really something. I don't know who on his team got out to the public these leaks. I know the theme of last episode was leaks, but they keep happening clearly. And Iceman is out there. If you're not aware, Aubrey Graham Drizzy Drake is releasing a new album entitled Iceman. And he's been teasing it for a while, like before the Kendrick beef even started, but this would be his first project since all that went down. There's bets on Polymarket on whether or not he addresses the beef at all on the album. My opinion is that he will do so in kind of a sly pussy way. He will not say the word Kendrick, 0% chance. He will, though, talk about how he survived and how he is stronger now than he was a year ago or 2 years ago, however long it's been. And he'll say that he thought he had people in his corner. He thought he had a lot more friends than he did. And turns out he was surrounded by fake phonies. So that's the angle he's going to go down. I do not anticipate him taking any sort of accountability. I also know for a fact he's not going to touch the pedophilia thing with a 10-foot pole. He's not going to address it. What's funny is like the world seems to have forgotten, which I guess, I guess it makes sense. So like, does it make sense? I don't know. I guess it makes sense. I think just, if you were Drake is just so fucking popular that he's going to maintain an audience regardless of whatever happens. Much like another popular figure that we'll be discussing later today. Also, in Drake's case, the PDF file allegations are exclusively from one dude that he was in a rap beef with. I don't know. Well, I guess there was like murmurings before that, but there's no credible evidence, I don't think. Or my point is that it's not quite as serious as the Michael Jackson thing, and we'll talk about MJ later. Anyway, but yeah, Drake, these leaks, brother. So he calls it the album is entitled Iceman, and the Drake album is dropping on the 15th. I saw a tweet that was like confirmed new Kendrick album May 14th, Fireman. And then they just ran with that idea, and like every rapper is dropping a man album. Eminem has White Man. I think Bad Bunny has like Puerto Rican Man. Future had like Earth Man. Like all the elements were, and it's their face like with like an awful. I'll put a couple in the episode. It's their face just in the element that their album's called. And the leak is just, I am fireman, I am fireman, I am fireman. Earth man, Earth man. AI is capable of making better music than this. I wonder if they intentionally dumbed it down, or the prompt was just repeat the words "I am Iceman" over and over and over, because it's funny, and it is funny. Or alternatively, it's not AI, and this is the actual album that we're listening to. Everyone thinks it's a joke, but in fact, it is a real leak, and the whole album is just going to be Drake going, "I am Iceman, I am Iceman, I am ice, ice, ice." Drake does get clowned on more than anyone, more than any other rapper. Probably with good reason, right? He's a bit of a cornball. Do you remember when he got on stage after the Kendrick beef for the first time, and he was wearing the suit with the bullet holes in it, and they were smoking, like he just survived getting shot several times? Like, all right, bruh. That's it's a little cringe. We get it. A little on the nose there, bud. But Drake is nothing if not on the nose. But I still fuck with the guy. I'm a big fan. I love his music, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I said that at work recently, and because they were talking. Actually, oh yeah. So shouts out to a friend of mine, a coworker of mine, mentioned we were talking about YouTubers, and I gave my list of my S tier YouTubers, and he gave me his favorite, which is FD Signifier, who I was not aware of before he mentioned it. And FD Signifier, incredible black YouTuber. The reason that I called him black is because his content is about like the black culture, the angle on basically a lens on things that I, as a white, have no concept of, or very little concept of. So he did a 4-hour video. He's one of these once every 6 month upload guys, who I always appreciate. He did a 4-hour video about the Drake and Kendrick beef from a black perspective, and like, it's fascinating. It's essentially he goes through the entire history of black music and the reasons that he's so disgusted with Drake and his success, and why Kendrick is quite literally the polar opposite of all those things. So, I get not fucking with the guy. I get not fucking with him. I get it. I'm a little bit ashamed of how much that I listen to Drake. A touch of shame. But I'm also not a pussy. I'm going to come out and tell you guys the truth, which is that I fuck with Drake, bro. And I'm looking forward to Iceman. I am Iceman. Another thing that I hate to admit, I love the Drake bangers. I'm just a banger person in general, but the hard shit is cool to me. And I don't care that it's all fake. I think it's cool sounding. And I fuck with it. I listen to it at the gym, and I listen to it to get hyped up before work and stuff, and I enjoy it. So sue me, sloppers, sue me. Head to head, obviously Kendrick is the better musician in quite literally every way. More interesting, more talented. But if you're comparing the two, which we all were a couple years ago, you go with Kendrick. But you can have both. They're not actively in a beef anymore. You don't have to choose a side. You can just listen to both of them, which I do. And if you go to the TikTok recently, man, every time there's a Drake post, people be glazing. No one's talking this way about Kendrick. Kendrick does not have the cultural relevance. So there's something to be said for that. Something to be said for maintaining his position for several decades. How do you do that? You stay relevant constantly by in his case, dropping pretty consistently, like every 2 years ish. There's a new Drake album, and there's usually sprinkles in between. He also does this thing where, well, let's not talk about the culture vulture deciding to be a nationality thing, because that is ultra cringe. So we'll skip over that. That is part of how he maintains relevance, though. He doesn't do, I guess that's the closest that he gets to Kanye, the controversy situation, because people are like, what is this patois? What is he fucking doing? He's saying ting? Ting, brother? So yeah, that type of stuff is no good, but he does do he makes a smart move in that he will hop on young up and comers tracks, and it's like the Drake effect. People used to talk about the Rogan effect. The Drake effect, he will blow that person up like overnight by hopping on a feature for that up and comer. He's done it time and time again. And it also keeps him relevant because he looks like he's scouting for newbies and has his ear to the ground and is like aware of the culture and where it's heading. So it's totally synonymous, truly. I've definitely talked about this before because I think I'm encountering the exact same issue where there's another word for synonymous that I'm not thinking of. And I remember on the podcast being like, what the fuck word am I looking for? And I'm having we're in goddamn Groundhog Day. I will be taking my own life. Anyway, looking forward to Iceman for real. Iceman's going to be great. Drake is good. And I'm looking forward to this. I have 2 friends from college, Drake stans. They were in my fraternity. They were cursorily related. Not literally related, but they were like friends. But not crazy good friends. My point is that they were 2 distinct entities, but both in my organization, who were Drake stans. One of which I remember, because you get the Drake drop. It probably happened 3 times while I was in college, maybe just twice. But you couldn't talk to him for a day when Drake dropped. He would like put headphones on, lock his door, and like lock in to the album, and like just listen to it. And he like take some notes. He would fucking lock every time Jersey Aubrey Drake Graham dropped. That motherfucker was unreachable for several hours. Very funny. I respect it. The other individual still does this to this day. This one's rough, in my opinion. So he's in his 30s now, as am I. And every Instagram, he still posts regularly on Instagram, just, his life. But the captions, 100% of his captions from the beginning of his Instagram to now are Drake quotes and nothing else. So like, fly all day and to the top. Dash Aubrey Graham. Started from the bottom, now we're here. It's awesome, dude. It's really cool. He's the whitest man of all time. Yes, you're picturing correctly. Yes, he is. He is the quietest man ever. Shouts out, dude. Shouts out to that fucking guy. Even fucked a girl that used to babysit, but that was years later on some crazy shit. I mean, there's a wealth. There's just so much. There's so much to pull from, I suppose. It's like an encyclopedia of knowledge of bars, an encyclopedia of straight heat that can come from that have come from that man's brain that you can utilize, that you can bite on for your Instagram captions. And he always quotes him. He quotes him like Champagne Poppy or something. Oh, he ats him. That's what it is. At Champagne Poppy. every time. Banger, dude. So cool, bro. So cool. Okay. Right. Let's move on from Drizzy Aubrey, Drakathy Graham. Did you guys see Trump got shot at again? Shit's insane. This guy can't catch a break, huh? Trump got shot at again, and a couple reasons that I'm bringing it up on this Slop podcast. I saw the video of the dude running in. This was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which for a time, I think for his first presidential term, he was not attending because he couldn't take a joke. And the Correspondents' Dinner is when they hire a comedian to come on and like playfully roast the cabinet, right? Which is not Trump's style. He does not like to be playfully roasted. He did do a roast on Comedy Central years ago. What's the difference there? That was an opportunity to get more famous. Now that he is the most famous human being on the planet, he doesn't care for it anymore. He likes glowing praise only. Fair enough. So the guy that ran in, he ran in with like, I don't know, a ball strapped to his chest and like a bunch of fucking guns or something. And he Naruto runs straight past security, which is kind of funny. Into the Correspondents' Dinner hall. And I don't think he even gets any shots off. I think the Secret Service just fucking lays him down. It's also interesting to see, you know, they're gonna take that video and play it for training purposes, because it's interesting. You never know what you're gonna do until a guy sprints past you like Naruto with the 4 machine guns. You know, you think it's business as usual until that moment, and you have to react quickly. That's like your job, is learning how to react to things like that come out of fucking nowhere. It's like your reaction time has to be so fast. So yeah, that's what struck me, is that these 3 guys, 3 bozos. I don't know if I can even call them bozos, because this man's fast. When you put your arms behind you like that, dude, you run pretty quick. There's a reason that they do it in anime. He sprints past and like you see the guy like, oh shit, fuck. He's like fumbling for his gun for a second. It takes him several seconds to get ready to go. He could have, if he had a bomb or something, he could have just been in there. I don't know if he would have made it all the way to Trump, but shit's wild. So while this was happening, this commotion at the beginning of the entrance of the place. By the way, you got to feel for the comedian. I don't even know who they hired. They hired a comic who worked really hard on these jokes. Really, really hard on this monologue. On this roast section. If they are in fact doing it, you know, like they have in years past, where they hire like a roasty type comic. This comedian has been working for months, writing, paying people, paying friends to get jokes, working it out on stage, working their ass off to be at this like nationally televised event in front of the fucking president of the United States and like his entire cabinet. President, vice president, secretary, like everyone. Actually, I'm pretty sure the third in line's never there, just in case someone drops a nuke on the building. You can't have all 3 in the same room, except for very, very select circumstances, right? I don't know if that's true. You can't have all 3 on the same plane for sure. Anyway. So yeah, I feel for that comedian. But the second reason that I brought this up is because who do we have on stage with Trump at the moment all this goes down? We have Sloppers Oz the Mentalist. Are you familiar with this man? Oz the Mentalist. He's been blowing up recently. He did a whole podcast run this year. He was on Rogan. He was on like every comedy podcast. Your Mom's House. We Might Be Drunk. A third one. He did a bunch of press promotion. He is Flagrant. He was on Flagrant. He's like a legitimate fucking wizard. Terrifying individual. He does this continuous thing where he can guess who you're thinking of, the human being that you're thinking of from your past, first and last name, with no context at all. You have to look it up. It's the fucking creepiest thing of all time. He'll go into a room, again, a podcast studio. He'll ask the host, like, okay, just think, don't write it down or anything. Think of a human being from your past. Literally any human that you have encountered in your past, maybe from your childhood, someone that I could not possibly have looked up, someone in your preschool class, somewhere that has no record of ever being a person. And they go, okay. And just from that little, okay, he goes, okay, interesting. He reads their face. And he's like, all right, do me a favor and spell their first name for me in your head. And they go, got it. And he goes, okay, so that was 4 letters. Interesting. You looked up and to the right for, a little bit longer than typical. So I'm guessing we're thinking middle school. And yeah, the way that you scrunched your eyebrow just now, definitely a female. And I'm just getting a hint of the letter M. Is it Maddie? And then he's fucking right every time. He's right. He's correct. You have to look it up. It's really insane. He does the same thing on Rogan. He guesses Rogan's bank code, 4-digit bank code, with the exact same technique. Hello, Joe Rogan. Think in your brain right now of the 4-digit code that you put in at the bank that no other human on earth should know except for maybe your wife. And he goes, interesting. He just looks at his fucking face. He just looks at his face and reads him. It's not like a scummy cold reading situation. It's there's also no trick. I guess there is a trick, but he's not a magician. He's just extremely good at reading people's micro expressions. And he talks about it a little bit. So everyone's first question is, how the fuck did you do that? And he always responds with basically his equivalent of a magician doesn't reveal his secrets. He'd be like, well, I'd be out of a job if I told you exactly how I did it. But, the reason that I love Tom Segura and why Your Mom's House is my favorite podcast is because Segura just skips right over that. He doesn't even ask. He just goes, okay, that was unbelievable. Very impressive. Tell me how you build that skill. How long have you been doing this? Where does that start? Where does your interest in it start? Did you start as a magician guy and go into this field? You ever used it for evil? That type of thing. Yeah, because he can I'm sure he can read. He could work for the CIA, bro. This guy can pull information out of thin air, seemingly thin air. And he's just I get being this dude because look where he is. He's performing for the president at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He's on Joe Rogan or whatever. He's popping. The interesting thing though is that I don't know if he makes people happy. When he does this to them, it's not like they're like stoked. They're blown away, but they're freaked out. They're like disturbed. That it's closer to disturbed than, you know, when you see a magician do something crazy, you kind of touch the same impulse a little bit. It's a little disturbing. It's a little disturbing, but it's not like this. It's not like, how the fuck did you know about my friend that died when I was 4? You know? How the fuck did you know? How the fuck did you know about the guy that I ran into in Guatemala 15 years ago that I haven't told anybody about? That type of thing. They get really uncomfortable and you see it on their face. It's kind of a similar, I don't know, similar to like Nardwar. Shouts out to Nardwar. People have similar reactions to Nardwar sometimes, where they go, huh? It's pointed. It's not like open-ended, like, wow. Do you see the difference in vibe? Wow. Versus like, huh? Yeah. So it can be creepy. It's fucking amazing. Don't get me, it is fucking amazing. But I could see it pissing people off and turning bad. I bet you this guy's had problems before with people. I bet you, he does. He reads the wrong person, and she's pissed, and she's like, you can tell that it hit her wrong. And he goes, listen, I'm sorry, this isn't for everyone, whatever. But she's like, not backing down. How the fuck did you know that? How the fuck did you know that? I haven't told anybody that. How the fuck did you know that? He's like, listen, I'm a mentalist. This is what I do. That's fucking bullshit, man. Fuck you. Fuck you. That type of deal. And then she like goes and gets her 9-foot tall, 500-pound pure muscle husband.
Hey, baby, what's going on?
That motherfucker knew about Janet.
Damn, baby. You ain't told nobody about Janet.
He's like running away. Hey, sir. Backing into a corner. Think of a number between 1 and 10. Trying to distract him. Yeah. So it's maybe potentially precarious line of employment, being a mentalist. It is fucking amazing, though. It's really, really insane. And more so than any magician's trick that I've ever seen, I want the why so bad. Excuse me. I want the how so bad. I want the how so bad. I know it's the normie question. I know he gets it every time. I want to know what he's doing exactly. What is he reading? When someone looks up to the left for 4 seconds versus or like 3.5 seconds, it's not seconds either. It's like moments. Are you counting moments? And then moments correlate to letters. And then like, what exactly are the mechanics that you're using? Because your degree of accuracy is astonishing. I've never seen him fail. I'm sure he does fail, but he also probably has, that's kind of like the cold calling, whatever the term is. What's the term? When you fish for information, you know what I'm talking about? You fish for information. I don't remember what that's called. But anyway, there's like a scam artist that use that. It's typically your fortune tellers and your mediums. They use that technique. And you've lost someone, and I'm sensing a C, or is it an F? Is it an E? Is it a J? Is it a vowel? And you vowel. A vowel, yes. Is it an A? I'm sensing an E. I. Oh, you sometimes Y? Why? Why? Yes. So I'm sure he has a version of that to do when the read isn't going well or he fucks up somehow. Again, I've never seen him fuck up though. Every clip of this man that I've seen is completely mind-blowing and frankly a little scary. And how does one become a mentalist? You have to imagine it's magician adjacent. So you probably start in magic and you learn you have a knack for reading people. You like your whole life, you kind of know when someone's lying. You just kind of know. And you think to yourself, you say, self, how do I know that this person's not telling the truth? And it's because they're fidgety. It's because they're looking back and forth. They're not making eye contact. Or they're suppressing those urges, which is another thing that he does. That's crazy. He'll go, you think of think of a person from your past that I would never know about. And he looks at your face and you just like, you do this, you do a couple of eye, like just, okay, got one. And he goes, okay, you had someone and then you threw him away and then you picked someone else and then you threw that person away and went back to your first guess. And they go, what the fuck? So like that, he knows how to read that, like your mental math. It's so crazy. Okay, and then also there has to be a way to beat this fucking guy. I think the move is just to like lock in and don't move your eyes or body at all and just stare right at him. Think of a person. Got it. Got one. Just don't allow yourself to move or blink or think. Come in with a person off rip. So you don't have to fish around in your brain for one. Because that's what he's looking at. He's looking at you fishing. Every wizard has their trick. This dude for sure would have been burned at the stake. The one male, they didn't burn dudes at the stake. That's just gay. They do ladies, brother. No, they just drown you or something, right? They just tie stones to your feet and throw you in the lake. That's how you kill a dude, a wizard. That's how you kill a wizard. Witch, you gotta burn. I don't know what to tell you. Them's the rules, brother. Them's the rules. You see, if she were a witch, she wouldn't be burned. So we fucked up because she got burned. Yeah, well, she's already burned, so fuck it. She was still doing some wacky shit, so even if she wasn't a witch, she'll be like, still not chill to have her around. So I'm happy we burned her. Will Oz the Mentalist be burned one day? It is pretty crazy, by the way, to just be in the vicinity of the president of the United States, even Donald Trump, which is less interesting. It's still fucking crazy to be in the same room as the president of a nation. But also, it's crazy to be on stage when a fucking assassination attempt happens and you see Secret Service emerge from the woodwork. Like there was Trump and Oz and like 3 people sitting down, and then there was 15 Secret Service members in the span of 3 seconds. Like they were just all over him. Not taking much care of our beloved wizard, though, I have noticed. They seem to only care about protecting the president and his wife and children. There are definitely other mentalists that are out there, but he's also great on mic, He's great on mic, he's great on stage. He also has great presentation skills, public speaking, presentation, comedic performance skills. And that's why he's where he's at in his career. There's definitely other people that do exactly what he does, but there's not known because they have no bedside manner and they cannot perform at his level. As a matter of fact, it's surprising that he can, being that he's a fucking wizard and that he has probably, he's probably a weirdo. He's probably a fucking weirdo. To get that into this, reading people like that and making them conform potentially to your will, theoretically, right? Finding out their darkest secrets just by looking at them. And then I will have control over everyone. Then no one can hurt me. That's kind of the vibe, right? Kind of. Not fully, but kind of the vibe. At least I think that's probably where it starts. Or he's just a fucking magician that got into this because he thought it was interesting. He thought he's a psychology guy, But anyway, God love him. God love him. God love this man. Oz, the great and powerful Perkins, I think is his last name. Or is that... Oh, no, that's the director. He's Oz the Mentalist. And I wish him well. I hope he does great things. I hope he does not get shot at the next presidential event. Do me a favor, sloppers, and smash that mother freaking subscribe/follow button, depending on your listening app of choice. I very much appreciate it. Rate us. A star rating. I don't give a fuck what it is. Literally any star rating would be very helpful. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Thank you. MJ is back in the news, sloppers. 15 years after he died. And the reason for that is because there's a new biopic in theaters called Michael. Just for some context, Michael, the film, if you are unaware, famously about a year ago during production, they had essentially finished shooting the film, and it ended with the court trial, the pedophile trial. That was the conclusion of the film. And apparently it painted Michael as innocent. Because this thing is produced by the Jackson estate, and they are hoping to milk this legacy for all it's worth. And anything they can do to spread over the idea that MJ might have been a pedophile, they're trying to do. They're trying to fix that narrative, quote unquote. Right? So they finish production on this film, and then they are informed by the victim's family's estate or their legal counsel that Michael Jackson, the man, signed this agreement when all this went down and he settled out of court for millions and millions of dollars, that these children would not be involved in any sort of media for the rest of their living, breathing lives. So they didn't check this before making the fucking movie. They made the entire film, and I'm sure they changed the names or whatever, but there's a clause in there that's no, I don't care if you change the name. You can't even talk about this shit in a movie, in a book, in anything. And Michael's signature is right here. And they go, fuck. So they fought it, and they lost. The movie lost. And I would not be surprised if the reason that the victims' lawyers fought it so hard, fought against this, or just presented the facts of the contract, and then when they received fire for when the movie production tried to continue and said like, hey man, we already finished it, bro. Please. They said, no, fuck you. The reason they said no, fuck you, I think, is because they painted the man as innocent in the movie. They're like, all right, how about this? Let me see what you got, and then I'll decide if we'll let this one slide. And they watched it, and they said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You are trying to whitewash, ironically, history here. And I'm not going to have it. So we will stand by the contract. So they stood by the contract. And guess what? The movie production had to reshoot the entire ending. They chopped off the third act of their film, threw it in the garbage, and reshot a new ending. Crazy, crazy, crazy story. Insane. Fucking so stupid of them not to check before completing the thing. And also, I literally have zero sympathy for them because, again, they were trying to paint Michael in a positive, innocent light. There is like a very interesting way that you could do this biopic to present Michael Jackson as a flawed, extremely flawed genius, right? An unfathomably talented freak who happens to also be a pedophile. You know, you could make that a very compelling, true story. But A, that's not good for business. I don't know if you guys have heard, but pedophiles are not really in right now. You know, people kind of are currently recently having trouble stomaching the idea of fucking children against their will, right? It's just kind of in the news recently. It's been talked about a bit as of late, right? So I think, you know, had this been 4 or 5 years ago, perhaps there would have been a pro pedophile Michael Jackson film. But now in 2026, not so much. Okay, so they're trying to go anti-pedophile with the film, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with the choice. I think if you are going to tell a story about Michael Jackson, you need to have that in there. You need it to be true. You need to unflinchingly examine the fact that he was for sure 1,000% a pedophile. There's not a moment of hesitation or second thinking that goes into my brain when I say those words. And it is astonishing to me how many people are on the other side of this argument. And here's what they'll tell you. Here's what they'll tell you. Those kids are money hungry, essentially clout chasers. They're clout chasers, dude. How cool is it to go to school and tell all your friends that you got fucked by Michael Jackson? That's pretty cool. It's pretty sick. They're clout chasers, brother. They're fucking hungry for cash. And MJ's dime is on the table, man. They're looking, they see it and they want it and they're going for it. And also their stories don't add up. They change over time. This 7-year-old has a different story than that 13-year-old who came out and had a very similar story 8 years later. And then once this was in the news, suddenly all these other ones came out. Yeah. So I am firmly of the opinion that where there is smoke, there is fire. And there's not a paradox, there's a like rule in mathematics and psychology and everything that the most obvious of the two explanations is the answer. It's not probably the answer. It is. 'Tis the answer. Like in detective work, it is always the wife, husband, brother, sister. Like always the guy who gets murdered and who could have done it? Well, I don't know. It's always like a relative or a good friend. They had some sort of business dispute. Like it is, that's literally always like 99.99% of the time. So, you got this guy who, even if you can remove yourself from the fact that he's also a freak, which he's also a freak. But if you can remove yourself from that, he's inviting children over to his house and sleeping in the same bed as them. That's quite a bit of smoke for this fire there, brother. Oh, and then also many of them reported that he fucked them like several times, and they were terrified to bring this forward when they were young, and they are only now coming to terms with it later, and their lives are forever altered. And Oh, and they all had like a similar story about this birthmark on his penis. That's odd. They all have the same story about like what exactly he wanted, like what he liked. I'm yeah, brother. There's not a modicum of hesitation in my opinion on this matter. And also, he settled out of court for literally millions and millions of dollars. Wouldn't you fight it if you were innocent? And why did it happen twice? Why'd you get sued twice for being a pedophile? You know, people that aren't pedophiles typically don't get sued twice for being pedophiles. You know what I mean? If you're just not fucking children, it's just not going to happen very often or hardly at all. You're not going to have a day in court where you have to defend yourself for fucking a child. It just doesn't happen very often. People lying about rape doesn't happen very often. It's like 5% of all rape accusations are false. Yeah, dude, I just think that people are one to come up with any explanation possible to omit the fact that this beloved icon could be that heinous of a person. Which I get that. I get where you're coming from because you really, really connect with the music, and he is a freak of nature, talent-wise. One of the most talented human beings that has ever survived. Survived. He didn't do that. He died. Good point. Great tweet that I read. This is from Mark Ash, ASCH. People are understandably reluctant to outright say Michael Jackson's music will live longer and means more than those kids' pain. But that's the subtext of every conversation about him, and it would probably save everyone a lot of pain. Agita is the term he used, to just let it out in the open. Yeah, that's the vibe. That is at the end of the day what they're saying. The music is very, very important to me, and I don't want to have this idea of this horrific event in my brain when I listen to Smooth Criminal. Again, I understand. I get it. I'm not like that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? And I'm not one. I am firmly in the camp, the pro. Oh my god, I almost said pro pedophile. I'm very anti pedophile. I'm a pro thinking that MJ was a pedo. Okay. And firmly in that camp. And I am not one, because there are many in this camp that will say, like, and he wasn't even that great anyway. No, 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 no. No, no, no. He is a generationally talented, unbelievably, like, freakishly talented human being. The way he dances, the way he moves, his songs are legendary. I mean, yeah, he's just otherworldly. And again, sloppers, as I'm fond of saying, people can be two things. People can be two things. You can be that good at music and also be attracted to little boys. Yikes. Yikes. How do I dig myself out of this hole? Because it sounds like I'm defending the action. I'm not defending the action at all. I think it's fucking deplorable. I'm actually not more disgusted. The most disgusting thing is the action. The second most disgusting thing is the people ignoring the clear evidence and proclaiming him innocent just because they like the music. Right? It's no good, man. You got to come to terms with the fact that life is complicated. Woody Allen's a great director. And he's a freak. He's a creep. Life is difficult. Life is complicated. Nothing is simple in this world. Where was I? Just got caught in a slop hole. Uh-oh. That's what Michael Jackson said to his victims. Oh boy. Tasteless. Yikes. Just if you're on the fence about the MJ thing, just watch the Finding Netherland documentary. If you can find it. It got ripped off of HBO because the Michael Jackson estate was none too keen on the victims speaking out and having the exact same story and extremely credible evidence. And the most heartbreaking thing from that documentary, if you guys haven't seen it, this is brutal. That's always stuck with me. So one of the guys, who is a guy now, like he was a kid obviously when this happened, but he was one of Michael Jackson's favorite kids who did all the stuff, got brought to Neverland, hung out with MJ. MJ came to his house. He went to MJ's house. He eventually got permission to stay over there by himself. And then they were sleeping in the same bed and he got raped like many times. Right? So the most heartbreaking thing about that is that he had so much shame about it and so much like internalized homophobia and all this stuff that he just like buried it deep and cut to like 10, 15 years later. And then suddenly everyone's talking about MJ being a pedophile because he's in the news he's getting sued by another victim. And so then everyone in his life starts asking him if he was assaulted by Michael Jackson. And he had this like, he would for like a decade, he would have this little line that he had like a little comedy line. He would go, I guess I wasn't cute enough for him. Ha 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 ha. Right? So he had like a little bit that he would do to get out of the awkward situation because he kept getting asked over and over and over. And then one day when he was like 25, 30 or something, his sister just, I don't know, they were having a tender moment. And she like asked him this. She like looked at him. And was like, "Did you get assaulted by Michael Jackson?" And he like had he was about to say the bit that he always says, and he just couldn't do it again. He just couldn't say it again. So he's like, "Yeah, I did." And that was the start of him telling the truth and coming to terms with all of it. So yeah, I totally get that's such a very human impulse. 1 second. The go-to joke to get out of the conversation that you keep having because it's too painful to talk about. Oof. But yeah, please do seek out that documentary if you can find it. Leaving Neverland. Netherland would be Michael Jackson's Cock and Balls. Oh boy. 2 mediocre and tasteless jokes in this segment. Can we make it 3 before the end? By the way, so the way the movie concludes, because they don't have an ending anymore, they had to just slap one on. So I want to say they reshot. During the reshoots they put a new concert sequence at the end. It's him playing Bad, and the song Bad, not poorly. I got 3 dogs in my goddamn recording studio. What the hell am I gonna do? Got all these pups. I gotta kick them out. They're too distracting. Stelly, say hi to the people before you go. Come here. Say hi to the people before you go. What do you have to say? Nothing. She's usually so long-winded. Stelly. Stella was not a victim of Michael Jackson. So yeah, I don't know. Fuck Michael Jackson, and also I like a lot of his music. That's my opinion. Fuck that guy forever, and also he makes great music. People can be 2 things. All right, I want to talk briefly about the Onion finally purchased the Daily Wire. So Alex Jones's media empire is called the Daily Wire, and he owes $1.5 billion to the victims of Sandy Hook. So he's in mega bankruptcy, and every cent that he makes gets sent straight to the pockets of those people, rightfully so. And so there was an opportunity for his business. His business was in foreclosure and was sold to the highest bidder. And who was that? Who took it upon themselves to buy the business? But The Onion, the parody news source, The Onion. Pretty fun. And then they were in some like a legal battle about this acquisition for a year, and like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it finally went through. So The Onion now owns the Daily Wire, and they changed the logo to be rainbow, like pride, and there's a big onion in the middle of Daily and Wire. I'll put it in the episode, the logo. Pretty funny. They also appointed Tim Heidecker of Tim and Eric to be the creative director of the Daily Wire from this point forward. So he's the new Alex Jones, Tim Heidecker. And I think I'm sure they're playing with a million ideas, but I think the move is going to be like, he's going to play kind of like the Colbert Report used to be. He'll be playing a version of Alex Jones, an Alex Jones type character, super over the top. So that is that's what's in the works right now. Alex Jones is crashing the fuck out. Alex Jones is crashing out. He is on Twitter. He like just discovered because Tim Heidecker is the new guy. He's just now discovering Tim and Eric. And you see him on his show watching Tim and Eric clips and just calling them like demonic and pro-pedophilic and all the buzzwords. He's just sitting there watching Tim and Eric on his show. And he's like, I mean, this is clearly demonic forces. It's like the silliest news story. It's really insane. He is seemingly unwilling or unable to see the humor in the show. Every time there's a joke attempt in the show, he goes like, this is what these people pass over as comedy. It's just all very surreal. Very, very surreal. I will say, and I have to be totally honest, sloppers. This story, as funny as it is, it's a little bit Reddit. Don't you think? Don't you think it's a little Reddit? I just know those godforsaken people on that goddamn website are creaming their britches over this shit. Because it's like the ultimate lib own of a conservative. And I agree that it's funny. But it's just, I don't know, it just seems kind of like, I don't know, what is the thing that I'm looking for? r/atheism vibes? Wouldn't it be hilarious if the Onion, by the way, the Onion is a goddamn prestigious institution, legitimately hilarious, like top S-tier comedy writers go to the Onion. So I have no qualms with the organization, and I can pretty much guarantee that they will be producing excellent and hilarious content with the Daily Wire label. Do they get their YouTube channel and everything? That's fucking crazy. They probably do. Wow. Yeah, so I am looking forward to all that. However, the whole story is a little bit Reddit. It's a little Reddit. I don't have much of a criticism for it other than that. In that it's just like a little like, hey, we get it. So that's honestly why I'm having trouble sinking my teeth into this story, as much as you might have expected me to. I'm much more interested in the massive cultural shift or divide between the Michael Jackson deniers and acceptors. Tim Heidecker is going to do great work at the Daily Wire. The one fun thing is that he tweeted like a clearly fake mugshot of Tim Heidecker from, I think it's from On Cinema. It's so obviously fake. He's got like crazy hair and his eyes are bugging. And Alex Jones just takes it at face value. Here's a real mugshot from the man, the demon about to take over my show. Isn't Alex Jones comedy adjacent? Didn't he start as more of a comedic type? Aren't him and Tim Dillon friends? How is he unaware? How does he not know that he's doing the worst possible thing he could do in this situation? And I would never, I am so far, I'm the furthest thing from an Alex Jones defender. I have a couple friends that think he's funny, and in like an insane way, in like a spectacle way, they'll watch him just because he's fucking insane. I cannot stomach this dude. Again, Tim Dillon and him will do the occasional, every couple years, quote unquote, emergency podcast when some crazy shit goes down. And I listen to 2 seconds of it and then I go, nope, not my jam. So he's on a different level, insanity wise. He's a legitimate insane person. Was it him and RFK that were lifting in jeans in that video? Was it those two guys? It's definitely RFK. Oh my god. They're like not human beings, these people. But the libs are annoying. You know? Libs are fucking annoying. Conservatives are not. They're like actual lizards. But the libs are annoying. And I hate to give a W to the fucking libs, brother. But you guys got one. Or we got one. I don't know if I'd classify myself. You guys got one, bro. Like the Onion thing. It's funny. It's funny. It's Reddit, but it's funny. So, shouts out to you guys for getting a dub. It's been a minute since you've had a dub. As a matter of fact, you've been taking L after L after L recently. And, good for you. Good for you. Congratulations. All right, sloppers. What have I been watching? I have a massive recommendation for you this week. Do yourself a favor. Are you familiar with the YouTube channel Folding Ideas? Do you guys know this guy? He's great. He's very dry. He's really fucking smart. He's a video essayist. Does like media analysis once a year type guy. Great person to subscribe to. Will not be clogging up your feed. But he just did 2 videos on Mr. Beast, specifically Beast games. So he and like 7 or 8 other, again, not your typical content-y. This dude uploads 1 video a year. And it's extremely well researched, extraordinarily well written, clearly scripted to the fucking T. Like he's that level of YouTuber. And Mr. Beast invites him to come check out Beastland, like Beast HQ, and get a preview of Beast Game Season 2 before it aired on Amazon Prime. And the thesis of the video is, why was I invited to Beastland, Beast HQ? It's fantastic. It's so interesting. You see the inner workings of Beast first, which is fascinating, and he's also coming at everything from a very critical angle. He is not, typically he actually addresses this in the video, but when you fly someone out and present, like, basically you do a lot of, you shower a media person with a bunch of gifts and food, and you take them to the premiere and you set them in the front row, and then all the celebrities come out, and like that person, you're not telling them to write a positive review of the thing, but they're probably going to write a fucking positive review of the thing, because you are removing them from their circumstances and putting them into luxurious lifestyle temporarily. You make them feel special. They're going to say nice things about your movie. Okay. That's the idea. It happens all the time in Hollywood. He's like, is this that? Am I supposed to write a nice thing about Beast Games Season 2? I hated Beast Games Season 1. It's fascinating. So the basically that's the thesis of the video. Is why am I here? And like the other interesting thing is that he's like, they told us in the email or on the invitation that there's no expectation of content at all. Like no one in this group of 9 rando video essayists, only half of us are filming right now. Like there's no one really gives a fuck. Why are we here? What's happening? Are we going to be murdered? Like that was the joke for a while. Like, so you see the inner workings of Beast, and then you also get a fascinating kind of takedown or criticism of Beast games in general and how poorly managed and run the whole thing was. The production, I mean, season 1 was like hellish conditions. Got sued by many of the contestants for hellish conditions. And then season 2 was not much better, apparently. But like fundamentally, it's flawed. I have not seen an episode of Beast Games, but I got a lot of insight from this video. It's like Jimmy is all about spectacle. Jimmy Beast. He's fascinated with spectacle, and he doesn't care about any of the inner workings of the thing otherwise. You know? He will sacrifice character and tension and all the other things that you need in a game show. You have to actually care about these people. Reality show or whatever, game show, whatever. Competition show. You have to actually care about these people, or else it all falls flat. And you don't give a fuck. So yeah, it's just a really, really interesting sort of criticism of the entire Beast sphere. It's not just the show. He like dives into everything about the brand, and there's like a fascinating sort of, he said one of the questions that we got asked towards the end of my stint here was, how do you build fandom? And they're like, he was like, they asked it sort of like offhand, and I wish that they'd given me a list of questions beforehand so that I could have really thought about this one and brought them a sort of like well thought out proposal, because I didn't really have much to say in the moment. But that idea has never left my head, because does Mr. Beast have fandom, really? No. You know, right? Like, he's got insane views, but 90% of them are children. But like, does anyone past the age of 7 love Mr. Beast? And he made a great comparison on my beloved reddit.com. The Mr. Beast subreddit has like 25,000 subscribers. And when Beast Games Season 2 dropped, there was like 2 threads with like 14 upvotes each. And that is the most popular Mr. Beast subreddit. And then like counter, I think he's like, alternatively, the House of the Dragon subreddit for this spin-off Game of Thrones show has 200,000 subscribers. And every time there's a new episode, a thread gets posted with tens of thousands of upvotes and stuff. Like, that's fandom, right? How do you build fandom? And he's like, you start by making actual good content that people actually want to watch without trying to gamify every moment of the video, without like draining your maximizing your retention to a nauseating degree. You're treating these people like cattle, not even the people in the videos, and like your viewers, you're treating them like cattle. You're not making things that people actually care about, you know? You're just kind of vaguely in it for the spectacle, and you go, oh, that's crazy, and you move on. Like, there's nothing to it. It's like Avatar. Avatar has more spectacle than Mr. Beast. Avatar has more fandom than Mr. Beast. That's crazy. Yeah, so it is a fascinating video. Big takedown and a glowing recommendation for me. I do want you to watch it, but there's a couple more pieces of interesting info that I will share with you. Like what did he say? I think it was like a year ago. I was watching a Beast video, and he closed it by saying, "Oh yeah, and check out Feastable bars available in every Walmart and 7-Eleven in the country. Every Walmart and 7-Eleven in the continental United States has these Feastable bars in it now." I was like, that's fucking crazy. That is insane. I don't know how the chocolate's doing, but I do know that every other venture they've tried has been a big failure. The chocolate, I think, is doing okay. But they have these like action figures that do not sell, apparently. They're just sitting on shelves. No one's buying them. No one gives a fuck. And then also they have of course, Mr. Beast Burger, which was a colossal failure, ghost kitchen situation. They canned that idea. Feastables, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of answers for. I know that they've quote unquote, perfected the formula for the chocolate. Like 4 times they've changed the formula, and it used to taste awful, and now it doesn't taste quite as awful anymore, it's good. It's progress. I don't know. I'm impressed by the scale of it. I'm impressed by the scale of his videos, that he has like this many productions going on at once, but I'm impressed that every video gets 100 million views. But by the way, those views are declining. They are in decline. They're still unfathomably huge, but they're declining over time, which has got to be worrying. So check out the video. It's fantastic. Folding ideas. Excellent work. Finally, I'll leave you with this, Sloppers. I'm a Blu-ray box set guy, but this is the first DVD box set that I bought. It's all the George Carlin comedy specials. So this man did something like 18 fucking HBO specials. 18, bro. He just did a new one every year. Every year, there's a new Carlin special, and it's on HBO. Bloop, 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 bloop. And he was doing comedy for like 50 fucking years. So I asked Claude, a friend of mine named Claude. I asked that motherfucker, where should I start? Because I've never seen any Carlin. This is the reason I bought this box set, is because I am a comedy nerd and I don't have any Carlin knowledge. And Claude recommended that I start with Live at Carlin at Carnegie, which is the Carnegie Hall one, and then go to like his darker era, and do You People Are All Diseased. So I started with Carlin at Carnegie, and right away I was reminded, because the first thing out of his mouth, he goes, he's like, people are still like standing up and applauding or whatever, and he's like, yeah, all right. You ever notice that all the women at anti-abortion rallies, you wouldn't want to fuck anyway? That's like his opening line, and then he that's the first things out of his mouth, and then he dives into something, like another bit, which I was like, oh, that's what Louis was talking about. So if you don't know, another recommendation here for you, Louis C.K., my actual beloved. I said beloved Reddit earlier, and I hope that no one misconstrued that sarcasm. My beloved Louis C.K., the masturbator supreme. He did a speech at Carlin's eulogy or wake or whatever, funeral. And he talked about that. He was like, that watching that when I was at a formative age in comedy was completely like groundbreaking, earth shattering to me. He's like, most comedians would cushion that joke after like 15, 20 minutes of build up and like get the audience on their side and then say the crazy shit and then like, you know, move on. He just had to get it out there like right away. He had to just say it. So it changed the way that Louis kind of did comedy. And he was a big fan. And every comedian, every comedy nerd likes Carlin. I am not impressed. I'm not impressed, dude. The most joy that I got out of that Carlin at Carnegie special was thinking about Louis C.K. doing the eulogy, because that eulogy is fucking beautiful and funny and touching. It's all the things that Louis C.K. is. And he's, you know, whatever. Fuck you. Say what you will about the guy. People can be two things. People can be two things. He can be the best comedian on the planet and also a bit of a sex pest. You know? But he's apologized for being a sex pest. He's moved on. What are you going to do? I love him. I don't know what to tell you. I love him. So you should check out the Carlin funeral speech. And I didn't connect with either of these Carlin specials, bro. I didn't like either of them. It's lots of words. He's doing a lot of talking. That's what I've noticed most, is that he's speaking a lot of words into a microphone. I don't think I legitimately laughed out. I think I might have laughed out loud once or twice during the entire hour in both cases. So 4 total laughs for 2 hours of comedy. Not ideal. Am I a smarmy CUNT? Yes. But is it possible this just isn't for me? Also, yes. Yeah. It's possibly just not my cup of jizz. I think you know, he's clearly smart. He reminds me of Robin Williams a lot. It's also possible that Robin Williams just bit 100% of Carlin's thing. But both of their stand-up I just don't much care for. So maybe I'm missing some Carlin genius. You know, there is a lot of, you know, he makes you go like, oh yeah, huh, yeah, like that's smart, good point. But I'm not laughing, right? And I don't need comedy to be smart. I need it to make me laugh. So that's my take on George Carlin. Yeah, I think the best thing he ever did was die so that an actually good comedian named Louis C.K. could make some poignant points about his death. Tasteless. Mediocre. Joke number 3. In the books, baby. Right at the finish line. Sloppers, thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for subscribing, following on your listening app of choice. It means the world to me. Leave me a comment if you feel so inclined. Do you think that Michael Jackson is a pedophile? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in 7 days' time.